Welcome back to No Man's Sky, everyone. Jason here, and today I'm going to show you how to refiner dupe and make millions. But before you get excited, you cannot refiner dupe like we used to. Well, like you want to. You can't dupe any item anymore because of the Beyond update. But there's an old trick that still works where you can refiner dupe chromatic metal. Alright? So I'm going to show you how to do that and make millions and millions doing it. And it's super fast and super easy. So the first thing you have to do, well, you're going to need a little bit of seed money to get this started, okay? You're going to need a large refiner, and I'll explain that in a second. And you're going to need a little bit of nanites, okay? So let's say you need 100 nanites, nanite clusters, and maybe a little bit of money. Let's just say 100,000 units, just a little bit. So once you have that, and some salvage technology, some salvage data from buried tech, okay? Because you need a large refiner. If you already have it, good. If not, I'm going to show you how to get a large refiner up at the space anomaly. So let's head over there. Now, once you've landed on the space anomaly, wherever you land, you want to go to the back of the space anomaly. Alright, so let's go all the way back up here. This is where all the upgrades are. Now, once you get back here, all the upgrade stations are here, and this is definitely where you want to go because you can get the construction terminal for your base, but it doesn't give you every blueprint. The Space Anomaly Upgrade Center, that will give you every blueprint. So, let's go over here, and you want to go to this center terminal where there's nobody at, the Construction Research Station. Now you go over to your technology modules, and in my current save, I have it unlocked already. So let me show you what it costs, okay? Now if you flip over to before I bought it, the medium refiner right there, it costs 10. Alright? But you don't want to use it because right now it is glitched out. The Beyond update will not let you place a medium refiner for whatever reason. I'm sure they're going to fix it, but for now, you can't use a medium refiner, and that would be actually your go-to. If you can, just buy the medium refiner in the future. So this is for anyone watching in the future. If medium refiners are working, use that. But since we can't use them right now, we're going to buy the large refiner again. So that's 20 total salvage data you're going to need, okay? You need 10 for your medium and 10 for your large refiner. So just remember that. But if you already have your medium and large refiner, don't even need to worry about this. We'll skip to the next thing. But in case you needed it, there it is, alright? So now let's head down to our base and set up our large refiner. That way we can start actually... Oh, actually, you know, before we do that, you're going to need to get some special materials. So let's head to the space station and get the material we're going to need to start this adventure off, okay? So let's hit it. Now, guys, once you land on the space station, this is where you're going to need your nanite clusters at, okay? You're going to want to go over to the Starship Upgrade Terminal right over here. In a terminal or market, I don't know what you would want to call it. The guy that sells you upgrades for your starship. You want to go over here, talk to him, and you're going to want to try to buy a pulse engine upgrade. Now, every space station is different. Sometimes you'll find one, sometimes you won't. And so that's what you're looking for. Just remember, you're looking for a pulse engine module, okay? And I said have 100. You might need more, you might need less, depending on the module upgrade. So, it doesn't matter which one you get. You can get a C if you want, and that's the cheapest option right there for 68 nanites right there. But if yours only has a B or an A, it's going to cost a little bit more. Like here, a pulse engine module S. You can spend 557 nanites on it, but it's not worth it because we're going to destroy it once we buy it, okay? So don't spend the high amount of money. It doesn't matter. You always get the same amount from it. So buy the cheapest one you can, all right? So I'm going to buy a C right here, okay? So I bought my sea level upgrade for, and remember, pulse engine only. Pulse engine module upgrade only. That's the only one that's going to give you the materials you need. And once you have it, you can just actually destroy it right now. So I'm going to jump in my space station, or my spaceship. You don't need to, but I like to just to get ready. Now go over to your inventory. Now you're going to grab your pulse engine module. You're going to install it. So hold down the X or square if you're on a PlayStation, and it'll instantly go over to your starship. And it doesn't matter if you already have the maximum number. It doesn't matter any of that stuff. You're just going to want to place it wherever you want. Doesn't matter. And once you place it, I have the maximum number. That's why mine is overloaded. But it doesn't matter because we're going to destroy this thing. So hold your right stick in and destroy it. And when you do that, it's going to give you 75 deuterium, 1 wiring loom, and 75 cadmium. That's what we're looking for. That's the most important part of this whole thing. This is the final ingredient we need. So let's move our cadmium over to our general inventory, and you can do whatever else you want with the deuterium and the wiring loom. Alright, I always keep these, and so I'll keep it. So now that we have the main ingredient that we need, let's go start cooking. Oh, hold it. I just forgot, guys. I just remembered. Don't leave the space station yet. You want to buy microprocessors because a large refiner requires microprocessors, all right? So buy 5 of them if you don't have them, okay? You can get the recipe, the blueprint to make them on your own, but if you don't have that, buy them now before you leave the space station. You need 5 of them to start out with, okay? Get 5 of them, and then let's go. Now, once you've landed at your base, wherever your base is, head back to it because we're going to place our... Hey, Scribulus! We're going to place our large refiner. Now, I have a few already because I've been doing this for a little while. But if you need to make one, let's go press up on your D-pad. You want to go over to your tech, and then go over to your general tech. And this is where you're going to find it. This is where all your general stuff is going to be. Landing pads are huge now, by the way. They're massive, so you're going to need to do that. Now, let's do... Oh, it should be over here somewhere. Large refiner. Now, you see how it's green, and I can build it? Let's put it out here. You can put a large refiner basically anywhere, as long as you have the materials. And remember, you need 200 chromatic metal, 100 sodium nitrate, and 5 microprocessors, okay? So make sure you have that material as well, okay? So, you can put this anywhere, and this is why you want to use a large refiner, because if you try to use your medium refiner, look at this. I have the materials in my inventory, and I tried to multiple times. And if you try to pop it down, it says, must attach to structure. Okay. So let's go inside the structure. Nothing. Anywhere. I mean, look at it. It is completely clear, and I still can't place this down. So the medium refiner is glitched at the moment. They're probably going to fix it. I don't know when, but they're probably going to fix it. So this will be your best option, the cheapest option, the easiest option to use, except you can't use it right now. So ignore the medium refiner for now, and let's just focus on the large refiner. So once you've popped your large refiner down, then you go into it. Let's do the large refiner, and you have 3 different inputs. In the top one, you're going to want to drop your cadmium, okay? Let's put your cadmium, and you see, if you refine cadmium, it makes, for 1 cadmium, it makes 1 chromatic metal. Easy peasy, so let's do that. And let it go for a little while. You want a good amount, but you don't want to get rid of all of your cadmium. You want to save it. So about halfway, stop it. And pull your chromatic metal over and drop it in the input number 2. Now, it says for every 1 cadmium and 1 chromatic metal, it makes 4 cadmium. So we're creating more cadmium than we're putting in. We're literally making more than we started with. So let's start doing that. And this is the part where you have to be careful, okay? This initial part, be very careful. You don't want to run out of cadmium, okay? That's the most important part. You want cadmium because that's your base cooking material. So let's pop this over here. And we started out with, what, 75? And now we have 141. In just a few seconds, we just almost doubled our cadmium. And so let's do it again. And you want to do this process a little bit, over and over and over again, because you want a good stack of cadmium, all right? So let's build a lot of cadmium. And when you want to stop it, every once in a while you want to stop it. So let's stop that, put it over here. And now we're going to make even more cadmium. So now we're at about 250, and let's just keep going. All right, so now we're really cooking. We're really cooking. We're getting a whole bunch. And so keep doing that process over and over and over again, all right? The biggest thing is, remember, make sure to have more cadmium than anything else, because that's what you use to cook everything else. Cadmium, boom, done. All right, so let's stop this for a second. Now let's put the cadmium over here. Now once you've gotten a good stack of cadmium, you're good to go. And so you can start splitting it off. And so you just want to use that to start cooking. And so what I've done is, I'll have my 2 refiners over here, and we'll just have this one be regular cadmium. Let's put this in our exosuit. Cadmium cooking into chromatic metal, okay? And then we'll have this one over here. We'll do cadmium. Oh, let's split it. So let's pick it up and drop some. 200 right there, and put the rest of it in our suit. And you got to be very careful. You want to make sure you have huge stacks of it, okay? That way we have 2 of them going at the same time. So this is all making chromatic metal. But on the other side, once you start getting more and more refiners, you can actually extend that. And so let's put in chromatic metal. And let's drop in some more cadmium. And notice how I have a stack of 99, or 9,999. And so we'll do that, and then we'll have another one over here. Whoop, come on. Let's do another stack. Boom. And now that's the key. Once you've gotten to the point where you have a whole bunch of cadmium and a whole bunch of chromatic metal, the most you can ever output is 1,024. You can go one above that. And then the refiner will stop because it's full. Your output can only hit 1,024. And so I have way more than 1,024 over here. And so if I just keep going like this, I can make cadmium forever. And this is what you want to do. You want to have one setup just to make a whole bunch of cadmium. And so these other ones are just to process all your base materials. And so we need to make some more of this. And this is going to be a little bit slower because it's 1-to-1. And so this one's going to run a little bit slower than your cadmium and chromatic metal. See how I'm already at 200? So I'm going to pick that up, give me the suit, put it in my suit, and then run back over here. And I'm going to add more to this. That way it just keeps running constantly. You're just constantly running this stuff, and you go back and forth, back and forth. And I mean, if you can get it going, you can get like a whole line of these if you really wanted to, okay? I mean, you could literally just keep going back and forth, back and forth. Boom. Add more. That way we never run out. And then every once in a while, come in and just pick up your stack and drop it in your suit, and it just starts to count over again. So it'll just keep running over and over until you stop it or until it fills up the output. So once you hit 1,024 on your output, it'll stop automatically. Or if it uses up all your materials. So just be careful. And there you go. And look at that. I have a stack already, and you just keep doing that over and over again because you can just eventually you'll start getting excessive amounts. And I've stacked up a whole bunch of cadmium, but you can also do it with emerald. You can also do it with indium. Indium is the one you want to try to get to, okay? Indium is the most expensive one of the metals. It sells for 464 units per one, whereas cadmium sells for 234 per one. Okay, so you want to get up there, but just to begin with, just to start out with, you could totally make a ton of cadmium And holy cow, it's just insane the amounts of cadmium you can get. So let's put this in there, because that's our huge pile one right there. We want to make sure this one doesn't run out. So we're going to pop another stack in here. And we're just going. We're just going like crazy. I mean, you could also try... You could sell the chromatic metal. I don't think it's worth it because you need it. It's the middleman ingredient, if you will. It's the one you use to make more cadmium. So I never sell my chromatic metal. I just sell the cadmium, the extra cadmium I'm making. See? So boom, there you go. And I could just pop in more. Boom. And actually, you know what? Let's stop this. Boom. We're going to stack this together. We're going to put that in our high capacity because let's put in the indium. Indium does the same exact thing. So it literally goes 1 to 4, 1 to 4. And you could just keep pumping it out. You keep cranking it. And it's worth so much more. So once you've gotten to the point where you can get indium, this will be bankrolling you like crazy, you guys. Bankrolling you like crazy. So, hopefully you guys liked the video, and hopefully this process is easier, especially early on. It doesn't cost that much to get the pulse drive upgrade. Alright, Scrubulous, come on. It doesn't cost that much to get the pulse drive upgrade. 80, what was it, 80 or 90 nanites? But once you do that, you're good to go. You have chromatic metal, and cadmium forever. I mean, look at this thing. You could just go forever doing this. And so you just want to... The biggest thing is, make sure to pay attention. Don't just let it go, because eventually you'll run out of something. So, yeah, you want to make sure to pay attention to it, and make sure to keep your capacities. Don't start off with a whole bunch of them at once, because you'll spread yourself too thin. What I did is I started with these two, and I was just going back and forth. I was making cadmium, and then I was making chromatic metal, and I was just going back and forth, back and forth. And you'll eventually get to a point. I mean, you could stack up a ton of cadmium into a refiner. I mean, look at this thing. I had what, 4,000 chromatic metal in there? That's way more than you'll need. Look at, okay, there you go, boom. It just stopped. I didn't have to stop it. It stops at 1,024. And so once you've hit that limit, just go over there and start it again. Boom. All right? So I know it's kind of repetitive, but I want to make sure everyone hits the concept correct, okay? And hopefully this makes you tons of money. I know it's not the refiner dupe you guys were looking for, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's just for money. You can't dupe anything else. I mean, you can get a lot of chromatic metal and a lot of the rare metals if you really want them. But I'm doing it for the money. You can just go get that and then sell it. Just sell that chromatic metal or sell that cadmium or whatever metal you have. Make tons of it and sell it and make tons of money doing it, all right? So hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, hit that like button for me. And if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading episodes all the time, and I will see you guys next time.